Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to the 6 News channel. So today we'll look at the patch notes for 3.2. Now 3.3 is going to be the mid-season patch, which of course will come with lots of changes and balancing changes and maybe some potential surprises. We're actually going to find out about that very soon, and it'll probably go into the test server as well. So looking forward to that. But 3.2 is actually out today on PC and it's going to follow on consoles at some point, so maybe early next week perhaps. Now they're changing surrender. This is interesting. They're going to need to, the surrender option is now going to be a unanimous vote. So everybody on the team has to vote for it. That sounds like it's pretty much never going to happen unless you're in a 5-stack. And of course you need to do it when you are losing, and it will only be available in the third round like it is now. Now reverse friendly fire is also getting a change for Goyo. It means the hostage will no longer be immune to fire. Which did seem to be just a placeholder for them to put in a bigger fix later, but it's a complicated fix. So if you go into the hostage room as an attacker and Goyo has put his shield next to the hostage, you can shoot the shield, kill the hostage, and you win because Goyo is responsible. However, if you pick up the hostage, then whoever shoots the shield and kills the hostage is responsible. So if the attackers pick up the hostage, move the hostage to the shield, shoot the shield, then the attackers will lose. So it's a bit complicated, and it means if Goyo is smart, he's just not going to put his shield anywhere near the hostage. And yeah, it's definitely a complicated one. Brand new players who buy Goyo in the future are probably going to have no idea this is a thing. But overall, maybe it's a better solution than an immune hostage. Then we've got a range of bug fixes. So apparently spawning on either the attacker or defender team wasn't random. So maybe it was like the first person to load in or something like that. However, this means even though it's random, it still means potentially you could be on the defender side first, say 6 times in a row. Because it's random, it does mean there can still be times where it just is the same every single game. So I don't expect this to be a huge change, but certainly it might be good for people who potentially, if it was something like loading in quickly or something like that, then this might be a good fix. Apparently players were actually able to vault through shields if they had another vault prompt in front of them. So that's been fixed. We've also got a bug that had you stuck leaning, so that's been fixed. And then defenders can keep using their cameras when the logic bomb is activated, so that's been fixed, no longer can do that. And some players do not receive matchmaking penalty if they cancel right as the match begins. Then we've got the diffuser can sometimes disappear if an attacker is killed immediately after it is secure. So as soon as they pick it up, they get killed, the diffuser just puffed into non-existence. So apparently that is now fixed as well. Then we've got Alibi. So her Prisma's outlines would show up even if the holograms weren't there. So that's been fixed. That's good. I've seen that. It's kind of distracting, but not a major thing. Then we've got Ash's breaching round wouldn't be destroyed by bandit batteries in barbed wire. So that's been fixed. They will now fry the Ash charge, which is great. And that's how it always used to be. Goyo could deploy his shield before he was actually finished deploying it. And then with Goyo's shield, there used to be a clipping issue where your legs would like poke through. So they fixed that and it should now be fine. So you can hide behind it completely safe. Although I wouldn't recommend hiding behind a Goyo shield. Then we got a fix to Habana, which just means her pellets are more consistent over all the different clients. Apparently Kai's electrical visual effect would disappear if the wall that the electrical was actually on was destroyed. So it sounds like it was still electrified, but the effect would just disappear. Then we got Maestro's turret. Apparently his sound effects would bug up for people watching it. And also visually the camera would kind of spaz out a bit when someone switched to the camera on the drone when you were spectating. That's been fixed too. And Monty actually had the shield glitch apparently still working. And people were actually using it. I heard a little bit of people using it, but it never got big and bad, thankfully. So they've fixed that now. And Muzzy's drone sound effects remain after being destroyed, so that's now been fixed too. There's a lot of fixes to level design too, so a lot of like lines of sight in this one have actually been fixed. And a few things here and there. So yeah, looking really good, and overall, looking forward to this patch coming out for both PC and console in the future. And of course, it's the mid-season patch next, which will probably go up in the test server over the next couple of weeks. And it'll be good to see how the balancing is going to be done. And the Halloween event will probably kick off pretty soon to coincide with Halloween. So we're probably only potentially weeks away from that as well. So a lot to look forward to. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.